What up, Raffleators? Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to bring you the upper part of Sheriff Street where the drainage works have been completed and take a look at what it looks like and what it's becoming as the roadworks progress.
Oh, this is my day. I'm ready to take it on, come what may.
So my only problem with this completed work so far is that it does the same thing that the drains did 40 years ago, 50 years ago. This is not an improvement over the design that was built in the 1970s and the 1960s and 1950s. And the problem with that design is that these open drains also get silted up over time. The dirt on the side of the road washes into the drain and over time fills it up and clogs it up. So this, the fact that it's open and you can still throw garbage into it, garbage can still find its way into these drains, is a mistaken design. They need to build drains that are covered, or that at least have a lip, have like a shoulder, a side of concrete that extends above the parapet, that extends above the ground surrounding it, so that the soil doesn't wash into the drains. So this is my criticism of the design of the open drains. Now the closed drains, the covered or the ones that are being built with pipes, can eventually be kept clean if they put mesh at the ends to exclude garbage, floating plastic from getting into them, because they're not going to have silt washing into them after it rains. But they can act as a reservoir for the amount of water that we get, say in a thunderstorm and a rainstorm, or if it rains continuously for 5 or 6 or 7 days, which can happen during the rainy season in Guyana. So the open drains have a value in that you can make them wide and deep, and they can actually act as a reservoir for water during the rainy season when you get thunderstorms every day or every afternoon, and the amount of water accumulates and can't really be pumped out of the city over the seawall because of high tide, for example, issues with the tide. So that's my problem with the design. The other development that has come out recently is that the appeals court has now made a decision on the no confidence motion, and they have decided to reject the no confidence motion in a split decision. 2 judges voted against the motion and 1 judge voted for the motion. So we're in a situation now where the matter will be taken to the higher appeals court, that is the Caribbean Court of Justice. And so again, we're still in the holding pattern, we're still waiting, and at the end of the waiting period, or at least closer to the end of the period, I will have a much more comprehensive commentary on this whole saga that Guyana is going through in politics. Like I said, this is happening for 2 reasons. One is that the opposition wants to get its hands on the oil money, and the amount of money that is likely to start flowing into the economy as a result of oil production beginning on May 20th, 1st of May 2020, is what is causing a lot of this political infighting. Because I don't think a no confidence motion is going to be reversed at the Caribbean Court of Justice. I think this recent decision yesterday of the Guyana's appeals court, that decision will be reversed. In the meantime, what it means is that the government is no longer unconstitutional. We're now in a period where we're just going to wait for the appeals court, in the CCJ, to make a final decision. But what we had is the opposition creating a false crisis by claiming that the government of Guyana was unconstitutional. And so I believe the decision of the appeals court was a political one in this case, simply to remove the situation where the government would be unconstitutional. I don't think it was a decision based on the logic or the mathematics of the case. I think it was a decision simply to make sure that the constitutional crisis would be averted. And that's frankly what I think is going on here, just more politics. But yeah, that's the situation in Guyana right now. In the meantime, take a look at the remainder of the roadworks that is happening here in Georgetown, and I believe what they're going to do is to widen the shoulder of the road to make this perhaps a 4-lane divided highway. Sheriff Street would probably become 2 lanes heading south and 2 lanes heading north, and quite possibly with barriers in the center. And that way it becomes much more of an expressway, much more of a highway. And hopefully they'll probably build overpasses too to make sure that pedestrians can still cross. But building drains is going to eventually hopefully relieve the constant flooding problem of Georgetown, and hopefully they build sidewalks as well, cover these drains and build sidewalks and prevent the ones that are open from becoming silted up by soil washing into them. So guys, that's what's happening in Georgetown today. Tomorrow I'm going to bring you a new video on the role of Russia in Guyana. So I'm going to make a video similar to the video I made on China Global. I'm calling this one Russia Global. And basically we're going to analyze, like we did for China, we're going to analyze the impact of Russia in Guyana, particularly because of the recent events with Rusal, that is the Russian bauxite company in Guyana that was involved in a strike. And we're going to analyze what Russia is doing in South America and what Russia is doing in Guyana in particular, and determine what the impact of Russia becoming a global power, in other words, flexing their military muscle again, what that impact will be for Guyana. We know Russia is an ally of Venezuela, and Venezuela is right now at odds with Guyana over territory and so on. So that is what we'll explore and examine in tomorrow's video. In the meantime, click like and subscribe on this video. Let me know what you think about the drainage works in Guyana. What do you think this is actually an improvement over what we had before in the 1960s and 1970s? And whether you think this is an improvement on the city as it is going forward. And remember, you can support this channel on Patreon and on PayPal. And eventually we're going to have all of these merch. We're going to have merchandise out for sale on a website near you, where we're going to have the channel logo and the commemoration of our reaching 2,000 subscribers. We're going to have that commemorated in prints, t-shirt prints, and on mugs, and those are going to be available on sale online soon. So until tomorrow, enjoy this video and keep watching. Later.